Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, a model launched approximately 1999 in white gold and revered by collectors of Jaeger-LeCoultre. This is the Reverso Night and Day, sometimes known as the Reverso Sun Moon. It is in the Grand Tie case shape that originated in the early 1990s and it was considered relative to the contemporary classique to be the big Reverso. Today, I consider it to be the perfect Reverso, and I've owned two Reverso watches in the Grand Tie case form and case size. So what is that size? Well, from lug tip to lug tip in white gold, this watch measures 42.4 millimeters. It's 9.9 millimeters thick. Between the lugs, we have a spacing of 19 millimeters, and it is 26.2 millimeters wide. Of course, all non-round watches wear a little bit larger than you would suspect. So I would say as a round watch equivalent, consider it to be a 39 millimeter watch, and you get approximately the idea of how this wears. Again, I've owned two of these, one with the tourbillon and one with the dual time. And you can see that it's low, it's flat, it has a sloped flank, it'll easily slide under a cuff. Down the barrel, the lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist, so I can recommend this watch for men or for women. Figure wrists as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference are good to go. It's got a nice weight to it, being made of white gold, and of course the Reverso case a little bit more involved with this underlying chassis and then the rotating component. It's a remarkably nuanced watch. More on that in a moment. We can see the strap is a large rectangular scale, gloss black alligator leather. It's got a little bit of bolstering or stuffing to give it volume, a monotone stitch. It's got a folded edge on the bottom, calf skin, no crimping, no gouging. Jaeger-LeCoultre factory strap right here, combined with the company's second generation folding clasp. You know, when you open up the single fold deployant, there's this channel down the center. That's their second generation folding clasp. Snap that shut right there. You can see it's made of gray gold. It's not quite as brilliantly white as rhodium-plated white gold, but it's white all the way through. Gray gold is, for want of a better term, maybe the good stuff. It's what Rolex, Grubel, JLC, Patek all use when they make white gold watches. It doesn't need to be rhodium plated or re-rhodium plated, and if you scratch it, it's the same color underneath. You can see here the case form is nuanced. I mentioned this earlier, but the Reverso, often portrayed like this online, doesn't communicate its subtleties unless you start seeing it in person. I love the vaulted, rounded case flanks, the tapering conical lugs that get squared off at their ends, the gadroons that wrap all the way around the case on both sides. This is a thoughtful and sophisticated design. From the polish on the back of this model to the engine turning on the inside of the chassis, it is full of surprise and delight elements like this spring-loaded ball bearing pin snap that makes the operation of the case so absolutely crisp and precise. If you've never operated a Reverso case, you're going to be surprised. It's more like the bolt of a fine hunting rifle than a piece of a clasp. I think some people feel like it's going to feel like a clasp, and clasps don't always impart solidity and quality. This feels like something from beyond the world of watchmaking, a fine instrument. Taking a look at the crown, you can see it's slightly recessed into the case band, which is a clever measure to remove its protrusion from the side. And then the dial has these lovely lacquered Art Nouveau style numerals in white on black. This is a multi-complication. We've got the power reserve indicator. Power reserve is 45 hours. We've got a genuine moon phase at the bottom. Then we've got the day and night indicator. What also is present and easily overlooked is that we've got a little bit of lume. So present and correct. Taking a quick look at how all this works, you can see that the night and day advances quite quickly in 24-hour cycles, and the moon phase down at the bottom moves more slowly, which is obvious given its 29.5-day cycle. We also have the power reserve indicator. It's a manual wind watch, so it's fun to wind it up and watch the power reserve indicator travel. Now, the case includes over 50 parts, moving parts, seals, sapphire, and much more. And so it has 30-meter water resistance, which may not seem like a lot, but prior to the 1980s, no Reverso dating back to the first in 1931 was ever water resistant, so 30 meters was quite a feat. You can see that this is a reversing case no longer for its original purpose. Ostensibly, and again, I'm just going to take JLC's word for it. The Reverso case was originally designed for, let's say, sportsmen. So if you were in danger of breaking the crystal on the time-telling side, you could rotate it and it would have a solid metal case back, and so if it were struck, for example, during a polo match, it would not be broken. Well, in the modern era, the Reverso is no longer a sports watch, so in the 90s, JLC started using the case back as a platform for a second complication or a second time zone, to include display casebacks such as this one, to make something of that second side that's not just buff metal. And so here we have caliber 823. It's properly shaped and sized for the Grand Thai case because it's based on the 1990s 822 movement, which was created for the Reverso Grand Thai. It is a 3 Hz manual winder with a 45-hour power reserve, pivots on 23 joules. It uses a Triovis micrometric adjustment system with kiff shock protection on the balance staff, but also on the pivot for the escape wheel. And you can see up at the top, it has been adjusted in 5 positions. It is elite adjustment. 5 position, of course, being the high horology measure. You'll see it on Vacheron, you'll see it on Longa. It's the standard for chronometers. And of course, it is a 3 Hz, so 21,600 vibration per hour beat rate. We have genuine fire-blued screws, and we have vertical stripes or Côte de Genève satination on the wheels, and though not easily seen, there is engine turning on the base plate. There are mechanically applied but handsome bevels on the edges of the bridge. It is just a beautiful movement that is truly high horology, and you may notice the absence of any Master 1000 hour identifier on this. I believe this model was made between about 1999 and 2005, so this watch, not featuring any Master 1000 hours mentioned, but signed 5 position adjusted, is probably made between 99 and 2003, because from 2004 forward, all the Reverso movements were Master 1000 hours certified. So just in terms of trying to date this, it would have been 99 to 03. And again, even before the Master 1000, they were still 5 position adjusting. So a lot to learn about these, but also a lot that can be told by the 2nd generation clasp, the signature on the movement, the signatures on the case back. It's fun to play historical detective. Fun thing to know, if you ever see JLC cases 3 in the middle digit right there, that always means white gold. I believe 1 is yellow gold, 2 is rose gold, and 3 is white gold. 6 is platinum. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.